Okay, here we are at the Parks in Kent for some route repair. For location 1, staging is going to be in this guest parking area. This is right at the intersection of South 220th Street and 44th Place South. Options are we can either do it all by hand, or we can preload the paver, get the truck right here, preload the paver, and get the Bobcat over. The only thing is that there might be some damage to the curb, which is already damaged. So if that's the case, I'll measure the curb. Anyhow, the asphalt is a 6x106 for this location, number 1. Got about 3 hours of root removal on this, and figure 2.5 inch R&R. I will measure up some curb just in the event that we do damage it. We'll need to know how much to put back, and yeah, I will measure that up, going essentially from this corner back a couple stalls. If we end up doing the curb route, we're going to do 124 feet of curb. So it's going to start right at the end of the guest stalls where the sidewalk ends. You have a joint there. It's going to replace all the curb against the sidewalk all the way to that corner we talked about by the mailboxes. And as we get closer to that corner, get you back on video here, you can see it's all against sidewalk, and then at the corner in about a foot there's a joint right there. So that will be if we decide that it's more effective to recurb it and crawl a Bobcat and a Mini up, and maybe the paver. Pathmaster, of course. And here we are at the end of our 106-foot run. There's the entrance. Here's our paint marks right at the post where we transition to grass. And we're just looking for root damage, trip hazards, all that throughout the park. Stuff like this will be fine, but we're looking at just more abrupt areas. The second location is a 6x53 attached to a 6x22, so it's going to start right at this guest parking and go 53 feet. Here's off to the right there, and then the 22-foot section is just this little dog leg right here. And to put that into perspective, repair number 1 ended right here. We'll take a look at the curb over here for access. So if we decide that curb is the best option, removing it to get over, we're going to go 22 feet. So it's going to start at the joint of the last stall, and it's going to go to the break just past the joint where we transition from park to sidewalk. And staging on this one will be this guest parking area right here. We'll want to have clear to same thing, preload the paver if we decide we want to do it that route versus do it by hand. And the more I think about it, we're likely going to want to just take all the curb out on these sections and do it that way. It'll be much faster and better than wheelbarrows, better end product. And then figure 1 hour root removal on this section. Here's another view of it. And then the first section right there. And here we are at the other end. There are no other issues. So there's that little dog leg there. And all this here, it all looks great. So just those 2 locations with the tree roots is all it's going to be. That is